What's going on, guys? I'm Joe Farewell.
And I'm Riley Croft.
And today we're going to be taking you through a little tutorial on how to be a good range buddy, how to get awesome footage at matches of your buddies shooting. Alright guys, so a couple of things I'm going to show you today are one, how to be a good range partner to make sure we're getting the footage for our buddy that he wants to see at the end of the match, and two, how to ask somebody to make sure that they're getting the footage for us and to make sure that footage is good. So, step one.
Step one, guys, always know the stage, because if you don't know the stage, you don't know where to video. So if you already know his course of fire, you'll be able to follow along and get the good angles which you want, which brings me to step number two. Always get those sick angles. Get in close to the gun, bring it out, just work on those smooth transitions, and always know where the light is, because the light is crucial in a good video. Alright guys, so this is bad lighting right here. The camera's pointed directly into the sun. You're getting bad contrast, lots of shadows and stuff like that. But as we move around, you see the sun getting those nice colors and taking those shadows away, and this is really what you want to focus on when you're taking a good video. Okay, now that we've checked our light, we know we've got good light, good contrast, everything like that. Joe knows my course of fire. I'm going to be shooting that target down there. Now, what we're going to focus on is the good angles, good transitions, and that smooth footage. So take a look.
There's nowhere to hide. What would you decide when it's on the line? If it's do or die, would you compromise?
Alright, so Riley talked about making sure that we capture the angles, we keep the light right, and we know the course of fire. Now the next part of this is also going to be making sure that we keep the person that's shooting in the frame. A lot of times we get that video that as we're shooting, we move on and the guy is sitting there watching us and he's not actually watching the camera, so we get out of frame, which is kind of a pain in the butt when you're trying to figure out what it is that you did wrong on that one target or whether or not you hit it. So one of the things we want to make sure is make sure you keep it in frame. The second thing is keeping the camera stable. So one of the things I learned a long time ago is by keeping your elbows in and kind of keeping yourself low, similar to the way we do when we're shooting on the move, we were able to keep that camera stable and making sure that we're not bouncing as we're moving along. So the last thing I want to talk to you guys about, it kind of builds off of what Riley talked about, making sure we're keeping the angles. And this is capture the action. Now, this also depends on what exactly the person you're filming wants to see. Now, if they're wanting to see their footwork, you want to make sure you're capturing the footwork in the video. If you want to see the targets that they're shooting, make sure you're getting that for them. But generally speaking, for a good cinematic video, we want to capture the action that's going on the stage. That means your reloads, the draws, working those angles so that you're staying in front of the shooter as much as possible, instead of just getting a video of their back as they run through the stage without any other detail. So when we talk about capturing the action, this also plays into making sure that we know the stage, know where they're going to be moving, and when they're going to be doing certain things. One thing I try to do is whenever I know that there's a reload coming up, I want to kind of get in close to see what is happening during that reload. That will help you diagnose if you're having issues with reloads, figure out what went right or wrong, and be able to make it so that that video looks freaking awesome. What that's going to look like is if I'm moving up here, doing my reload, Riley's going to stick along with me. We're good to go. And he's going to shift from a side perspective where he's kind of watching me shoot to try to get zoomed in on that reload as I'm doing that, while not getting too much into my face where it could be a distraction to the shooter. Again, this is something you want to work with, especially if you've got somebody that you go to the range with often. That way you guys kind of understand what you're looking for, understand what gets into distraction mode, and also what's going to make you a good video for what you're trying to use it for. Ready? And that's why you want to get the action. We got a good flip there. This is kind of slippery ground, but if we don't get the good angles, you're not going to capture that, and that moment's just going to be golden, and you don't want to lose that. So another thing that you want to make sure is, as we're capturing these moments, watch for the RO. Make sure you're not getting the RO in between you and the shooter. So if you do completely eat it, the shooter eats it, you eat it, whoever's not filming eats it, or even the guy who's filming, we don't have something that's blocking the footage. So perfect example. Let's do this again.
Hustle's all I know. We be on it. Really, we be on it. Working hard because my opponents, I won't let them get up.
So there you go, working some angles there. Now let's try it out with shotgun and kind of see what it looks like if we're flowing through a stage.
All it took was hard work. Like if you a hand, better make them cars work. Now we pressing buttons just to make the cars work. Took a little time, but it paid off.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that quick little tutorial on how to film better. First thing you want to make sure is understand what that person is looking for who is getting filmed, or if that's you, make sure you express what you're looking for to the person who's filming.
And guys, always know the stage, always know the light, and always get those angles.
And while you're at it, make sure that when you're getting the angles, keep the person in the frame or the targets in the frame, depending on what you're looking for. Make sure you're stabilizing the camera so it's not bouncing all over the place, and make sure you're capturing the action. So if they totally wipe out or if they completely crush the stage, you're gonna get that in full HD so we can put it on the internet for all of us to see.
Exactly.
If you want to see more of these awesome angles, the fun shenanigans we do on the range, and get some great content, check out Riley at RileyTXShooter on Instagram.
And check out Joe at Joe_Farewell, and make sure to hit up farewellfirearmstraining.com. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Thanks for watching.
See you on the range.